Now, nobody ever really changes anybody. At the end of the day, when that spark, that butterfly in your belly dies, then you begin to see them for who they really are, right? So don't make your happiness depend on somebody else. Your happiness should come from within you. Let me tell you a few dating mistakes some of you guys make when you're getting into a new relationship. Now, all of these mistakes are very, very much avoidable. And these are mistakes that you might not really know that you're making, or I mean, it could just be how you have always thought that relationships should work. So make sure you stay to the end of this video because it promises to be very short and very, very educational. All right. So hey guys, welcome and welcome back to Real Talk with IJ. I'm your host IJ, and if you're not yet subscribed, make sure you subscribe before you leave, and make sure you like this video before you leave also, because someone else liked it for you to be here. So like it so that YouTube can recommend it to the next person. All right. So let me tell you some of these mistakes you guys make when you're dating. The very first obvious one, and I'm going to start with this one because I've seen it happen a lot of times. You guys ignore the red flags. Honestly, there are thousands of videos online. I'm sure I have videos also that will tell you that these are red flags or these are the type of women you should not date. And sometimes you guys completely ignore the red flag because you think somehow you can make it work. Somehow you can change them. Somehow you can fix this. Somehow you can, manage the other good ones and just let the bad ones slide and all of that. But there are some red flags that are just too much, and you need to be careful when you're deciding to stay with that person. All right. Now, nobody ever really changes anybody. Change comes from within. So your partner needs to decide to change for them to change you. There's no amount of talking and everything you're going to say that will ever make anybody change. They decide to change. So stop ignoring the red flags. Just stop ignoring the red flags. This is one of the huge mistakes you make when you are dating. So if it's a red flag, if it's something you cannot deal with, don't ignore it and say, oh, she's going to change. Nah, just tell her, and if she's not ready to work on it, you should leave, honestly. Secondly, and this one is actually very funny because I've heard it a lot of times. When you're trying to date someone, there's nothing like a spark. Let me just say it this way. A lot of times I tell people that the butterflies in your stomach that you feel when you're meeting someone for the first time is mostly lost. All right. It could mostly be lost. And the moment you've had intercourse with this person, the moment you've spent some happy time with this person, if there was no concrete reason why you are loving this person, if it's just the fantasies in your head of how they look and what they have on their body, it's going to gradually fade and you're going to see them for who they really are. All right. So one mistake you guys make is when you're talking to a girl, your mind, you're saying there's no spark, there's no excitement, there's actually nothing shining about what you're seeing. All right. Maybe she doesn't have all the physical qualities that you want, or I don't know. But I know even for a lot of girls, all right, for most girls, they'll tell you, oh, I want a very tall man, I want a very rich man, dark and handsome, with, I don't know, sporting wave hair or dreads, or these are all the sparks that we think we want in a partner. And for you guys, maybe you want a girl who is very tall, very slim, with the Coca-Cola bottle shape and all of that. And once you see a girl like that, yes, there's a spark and you think that's love. So when there's no spark, when you don't see all those, you get eye contact and you feel that shiver down your body, you think she's not the right person for you. At the end of the day, when that spark, that butterfly in your belly dies, then you begin to see them for who they really are. So don't, judge a relationship by whether you had spark or whether you did not have spark. Try to get to know people. All right. Maybe the girl you're looking at right now is not as tall as you want her to be. All right. So you're just dismissing her, thinking, please, there's no need to carry on this conversation because she's not my type of person. But by the time you get to start talking with them, you find out that there are too many qualities that person is going to possess that was actually on your list of the type of woman you want to date. So stop judging by that first spark or that first excitement when you see them. All right. A lot of those first spark, like I said, will just die after a couple of intercourse. But when you begin to know people genuinely, regardless of how they physically look, you're going to find out that there are a lot of amazing people just inside the body of somebody else. All right. So you understand what I mean? So stop relying on the spark to have that amazing relationship. Get to know people personally and decide if you want to be with them. And the third thing you need to stop doing that is a mistake when you're trying to date is you are forcing it. All right. Stop forcing people to be in a relationship with you. All right. You cannot force people to date you. You cannot force people to fall in love with you. All right. You can actually plant yourself in the face of people. You can actually go out on a couple of dates with people, but you cannot force them to continue to go out on dates with you. All right. So you could be on a dating site where it's just easy to swipe right or swipe left and someone swipes right and you guys decide to meet. That's actually fine. But trying to force them to make that relationship work. You're calling, you're texting, you're telling them how much you care about them, you're telling them how you spent so much money on them as if they have to pay you back and all of that. Like, bro, just stop. All right. If you decide to start, when a lot of men make this mistake of when they are going after a girl, they want to spend money on her, hoping that she's going to now fall in love with them. So now you spend all your money on this girl, taking her to expensive dates and all of that. And then at the end of the day, she's telling you she's really not digging this relationship. And then you want to go crazy. Some of you even go as far as telling her to pay you back or return all the fancy gifts you bought for her. Like, bro, like anybody forced you to get all of that in the first place. Like, all right. So just stop it. Stop trying to force people to love you. That's why I always say never lead with your wallet. All right. If you lead with your wallet, a lot of women will take advantage of you and turn you into a goodie bag. So never lead with your wallet. You want to date someone, let them genuinely get to know you. So if you try to force it to happen by spending money and pretending to be something you're not, you're just going to get used and get dumped and you're not going to like it. So genuinely try to form connection with people. And if it doesn't work out, just move on and the right person will definitely be somewhere waiting for you. Next point is stop playing games. All right. Now, yes, I know sometimes we teach you tricks and how to, get women, get power over women and all of that. But the right way to make a relationship work or to, make your dating work is not to play games and not to accept games. All right. So if you're talking to a girl and she's forming hard to get and, she's trying to act like she's too fine and, ghosting you and keeping you on red and all of that, like you also don't return that favor. Don't play that game with her. All right. I see it's very funny. I see some guys, they text you and you take about 2 days to respond to them. And when you respond to them, they also want to take about 2 days to get back to you. Like, bro, are you that jobless? Like, the right thing to do is move on. Except there's a real reason why she's not been responding and she tells you, oh, I'm sorry this happened, that's why I didn't get back to you. The right thing to do is to respond also. Don't also get petty. Don't do two can play the game. All right. I'm assuming you guys are very matured. So if a girl is wasting your time or trying to waste your precious time, the right thing to do is to carry on and not to indulge in the games that she's trying to play. All right. So stop trying to, okay, you like Jane. Jane is playing hard to get. So you go after her best friend just so that she can feel jealous. And then she starts fighting with her best friend or starts telling you, oh, I thought you loved me. Why are you going after my friend? Then you start telling her, oh, you were playing hard to get. So I went after your friend and so what. Don't do that. All right. See, I'm even saying and it's so irritating. Like, don't do it. Don't play games. All right. If she's playing hard to get, let her go. There are other people out there. So just don't play games. All right. It's just not mature. Don't do it. And this one is actually something that I've not really heard a lot of people talk about. All right. Like when you're trying to date, stop having that thought in your head that you have a particular spec. Yes, that's how a lot of you stay single for life, bro. Like you have a particular spec. If she's not dark and tall with very big Ghana bum, like you are not interested. You have a spec. She needs to have pecky boobs or nothing. That's why a lot of you stay single. A lot of you stay single because you have a spec, and if it's not this girl that looks like my mom with pink lips, then I cannot even say hi to her. This will leave you single for a very long time if you're sticking to a script. All right. She needs to be a lawyer. She needs to I don't know what kind of list you guys have. I mean, it's okay to have, the kind of woman you want to be. So I want a woman who is this and this and this. But like 100% sticking to it must be this. And the moment she comes and her English is not very clean, but she checks every other box, but she's making mistakes with is and was, you're already telling her, I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore. Like, bro, nobody's perfect. All right. Nobody is perfect. And if you're creating a perfect list that you have to stick to, you might just be single for life. And there's no issue, there's no problem being single. In short, I have a video where I talked to you, where I talked about why it's good to be single, all right, and when to stay single. So I will link that video at the end of this one. Go check it out, and it's completely fine to be single, all right. But like, just be careful, all right? Sticking to that script of it must be this kind of girl. She must be from this part of the world. She must speak this particular language. She must sound this way. Her hair color needs to be this. Her eye color needs to be this. She must work in this kind of place. Like, Sometimes it might not really work out that way. So be ready to compromise. All right. That's how you lose chances of getting amazing women or getting an amazing wife, because you're sticking to a particular script. Nobody is born perfect, and that script you're sticking to might just drive you crazy at the end of the day. And I mean, just be careful not to want to just stick to a particular type. Explore, have fun, and you will find out that maybe your particular type is not even what you really, really want. And the other type that you're not looking out for might be the one that will treat you way better than your particular spec. So just be careful. Last but not the least is stop thinking getting into a relationship will make you happy. Like I said, I have a video on, why you should stay single and the beauty of being single. So stop thinking that if your life is lonely, if you're boring, if you're unhappy, if you're sad, once you get into a relationship, she will make you happy. No, you're just going to get more frustrated if you get into a relationship and you're not happy. So when you're trying to date, stop having that mentality that when you start dating, you're going to be happy, you're going to have happiness. There are so many crazy ups and downs in relationships that sometimes you even prefer to be single. So don't go in with that mentality, all right? If you want to date, don't go in with that mentality that you're going to find happiness. Just go into the just go in with the mentality that it might work out, and if it doesn't work out, everything is still fine. All right. So don't make your happiness depend on somebody else. Your happiness should come from within you and not on somebody else coming into your life. So that's the end of the video for today. I hope you find it educative as well as entertaining. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share this video so other people can see it. I will see you next time. And also don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. So keep living life and keeping champs. Bye for now. Mwah.